So you want to know something? You know, they just passed this big anti-inflation act thing that they said is also for the environment, but it turns out it's not. Turns out that it's a big giveaway to oil companies. And also they said that they're going to now finally Medicare can negotiate with drugs, and they're going to lower prescription drug prices for you in this bill. That's what the Democrats are saying. That is not going to happen. So you ready? You ready for this? This is from who wrote this? Let's see who wrote this. Oh, our good friend Dave Dayen. Dave Dayen, who he wasn't for forced to vote on Medicare, but he was for forced to vote on $15 minimum wage. So he's for forced to vote, just when it's not actually able to happen. But anyway, this is he writes presidential polling in recent weeks. So they're saying that his polling is going up because it looks like the Democrats are doing shit, that they're rewarding action after a long period of inaction. And while the abortion issue is still playing a role, in a broader sense, the Democratic strength is getting things done for the American people, and it's resonating, according to Dave Dayen over at the thing. However, that benefit is fragile, especially if what's been touted as progress doesn't pan out or isn't immediately visible to the public. And that's what's so confounding about the Inflation Reduction Act's prescription drug reform. The two major pieces that offer the most impact to seniors not only don't take effect before the fucking next national election, but not even before the next one. So this big thing they're touting about all this prescription drug savings, it's not going to kick in for 4 years at the earliest. So like if your kid is graduating high school now and Joe Biden comes to you and says, we're going to lower your prescription drug prices. Oh, when does that kick in? When your kid gets out of college. What? That's what's happening. There doesn't seem to be any credible reason for this delay, according to Dave Dayen, other than as a favor to the pharmaceutical lobby. You think? But it's potentially debilitating to Democrats' political fortunes, as they are overpromising relief for seniors that won't materialize for years and years. You know how long it took for them to implement Medicare when they passed it? A year. They're not going to get you to cheaper drugs for fucking years and years.
Is that so, like, hopefully some of the old people die out and they don't have to pay it?
That's it. Yeah. The two biggest benefits for seniors in the IRA are I guess that's the Inflation Reduction Act, are the Medicare negotiation of certain, Kurt, not all, certain high drug cost prescription, and the $2,000 out-of-pocket cap. So that's good for them. But while price negotiations technically start next year, no consumer will see the benefit until the new prices kick in 2026.
Look at the next part.
Okay. And even then, on only 10 drugs.
Yeah.
Another 15 are added in 27 and 28, rising to 20 by 2029. Not even all drugs, just a couple of drugs.
So in 2030, 20 drugs will be just negotiated.
Just negotiated.
How much you want to bet the negotiation bank? We negotiated. They said we should keep it how it is. No, we negotiated, but it's just going to be the same thing. It's going
to be the same. You could squint and maybe understand the need for a little delay in setting up a negotiation regime. There are some parameters to set up, like the benchmarks for prices and penalties if drug companies refuse to deal. Maybe you have to train negotiators, but none of that can possibly explain the 3-year delay between the beginning of negotiation and the realization of price discounts for seniors. To be crass, it means that substantial numbers of seniors living now will not be alive.
What did that thing I said is what it is?
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right.
The $2,000 out-of-pocket cap, which is across the board for all seniors, not just on certain drugs, is even worse. How so? Well, that cap doesn't go into effect until 2025, although out-of-pocket costs get capped at $4,000 in 2024. Is there a kind of an explanation for delay in setting up Medicare drug price negotiation for the out-of-pocket cap? There is not. That's right, except corruption.
They shouldn't have to give one.
That's right, corruption. Do you hate Trump? Shut up. Do you hate Trump? Then shut up. You literally tally up patient out-of-pocket costs, which are fully transparent, until they hit $2,000 and then stop them. Why does this take more than 2 years to pull off? Medicare itself, the entire program, took only a year to implement. The two major pieces that offer the most impact to seniors not only don't take effect before this national election, but not even before the next one. We're claiming that we're reducing drug prices, but the average American is not going to see that, said Pramila Jayapal. That's the part of the bill that gives me the most heartburn. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Heartburn drugs won't be covered until 2029.
The problem here, of course, is that the Democrats are going all out and selling the bill as a historic reform to lower drug costs for seniors. They are affirmatively running on it, and it's this midterm election, to draw contrast with the Republicans, Representative Abigail Spangenberger from Virginia she's in a tough race in the Virginia suburbs. She told the Washington Post that with this bill, she would be able to look at a retiree in the face and say we are capping your out-of-pocket costs.
But only because she's a huge liar.
Yeah, only because she's a huge liar. But she can't, at least not for this election or the next one, say that. I think it's understood that it's not fast.
Why?
It's definitely understood. But why is not understood? That is absolutely incorrect. Seniors will find out their drugs aren't capped when they keep paying and paying for them, and the nuance of the messaging in the midst of those piled up fees will be completely lost. And so what Dave Dayen is saying here in this article is that you're screwing yourself. You're promising Democrats to vote for Democrats because we're going to lower your prescription drug prices, and they're not going to be lowered. So people are going to keep paying out of pocket for years and years after you already told them with a straight face to their face that you lowered their drug prices when you fucking didn't.
And by the way, it probably is historic, this bullshit thing. They've never, they've done nothing.
Because we've never done anything. It's absolutely insane for a political party to boast that it lowered prices for seniors when the price reductions are years and years down the road. It is absolutely insane. That kind of de facto bait and switch leads to distrust and anger. Really? You think it also leads to people voting for Trump? Because that's what it leads to. Not because of racism. They voted for Trump because they're desperate because of shit like this. You'd have thought Democrats would have learned this lesson in the Affordable Care Act, whose major benefits didn't kick in for 4 years after passage, a time lag that helped lead to 2 midterm wipeouts for the Democrats. But here we are again. Oh, those Democrats, those gosh darn Washington generals, they keep losing even when they're winning. How does that happen?
The Globetrotters are just that good. What are you gonna do? It's a Harlem Globetrotters.
That's exactly what this is.
They start whistling, and they start spinning around.
The
You
Harlem,
can't follow that.
So the Democrats just keep getting outplayed by the Harlem Globetrotters. And you know who the Harlem Globetrotters are? The corporations. Big Pharma. That's right.
They're all whistling that song right now.
That's right. How did that? What was the?
I can't whistle it, but I remember it.
What is it? Do you remember the Globetrotters theme song?
No.
Neither do I. I keep thinking.
I can hear it, but yeah, I can't.
I keep thinking it all comes out Mayberry. That's
no, don't do that.
Hey, we're coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Detroit, Los Angeles, Spokane, Tacoma, Denver. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all our tickets for all our live shows. See you there.